Okay, hi. Good evening. This is my first video. Um, so this is a market recap. The 14th of September 2020. All right, 2022. My apologies. So looking at the chart. So I'm trying to do a market recap from what happened today. I've already marked up the chart from the daily. I've been able to, there was a level here at 166.075. The yesterday candle tapped into the previous zone here. And so we can do something like this. So the yesterday candle tapped into this zone here, right? And you can see the same thing here, right? So there was and you see that this candle drove up the same place that this particular candle on the 9th of June rejected. This one retested it and then it began this downward descent. So looking at this daily candle here, we can just remove this for now. Looking at this downward candle here, it's tapped the same thing, the same levels here. So what will most likely happen is, as this candle has closed below here, as this one has closed below, it will most likely drive down, ultimately mirroring this clean candle, similar to what had happened here. It drove down, right? Mirroring all the clean candle going up, it mirrored it going down, right? So I'm looking at the same thing happening in relation to this particular candle being the first move downward. Now, when we look at the weekly, the same thing, right? One tap, two tap, three tap. This is a fourth tap, the same place, the same area, the same, rejection area. So it's most likely going to drive down. So when you look at you can look at the same candle. So this strong bullish candle, Now it tapped, it rejected. It's doing the same thing here. It's tapping, it's rejecting. Now, what's the next thing? So from next week, we'll most likely see a break of this doji candle, more like what happened here. A break of the doji candle to drive down, similar to what's probably going to happen, a break of this doji candle low to drive down. So next week's target would be 160 flat if we break this doji candle to mirror this candle going down. Again, a similar thing happened here. It tapped, the next week candle drove strongly down, almost the same area that this other candle drove down, right? You get that? So it's doing almost the same thing. So we're having a repeat of that now. So when you now look at the daily, it's making more sense, right? We have seen it happen like this on the daily. This one closed with no wick to the upside. This one tapped and it drove down. Similar thing happened, small wick to the upside, rejection, drive down, right? So we're looking at it to drive down and mirror this clean candle going up the same way it was mirrored down. So we'll drive it up and we're looking for a mirroring candle here. So the level 161, so about 400 pips. So now we go down to the lower time frames. All right, we have our levels. So the daily candle started like this. So for me, what I'm looking at, because I trade from the 6 a.m., that's this candle, I'm looking at maybe there was a rejection here. This candle popped up and drove up. Now, when it came to retest, there was a rejection. The 2 a.m. candle closed strongly below, similar to the way that this 2 a.m. candle closed strongly above Now the 2 a.m. candle closed strongly below this GMT. 2 a.m. GMT closed strongly below, similar to what happened here. So I'm thinking the 6 a.m. candle then now was that drive down, mirroring first this clean candle and then this other last clean candle, right? So these are things I would have been looking at today. Looking on the 1 hour, this was the 5 o'clock candle closing down. This one now closed just right, the 6 a.m. candle closed right below this hourly support. This one closed right below that support, right? So the entries would have been from the 7 a.m. candle, following the overall trend to catch this clean candle first, this clean candle, then next this clean candle, right? So we would have caught, assuming we would have entered here, 20 pips, 37 pips stop loss, 20 pips as first TP, and overall 48 pips as second TP. But you see, it drove down more before going up. So it would have been a 1:1.5 trade, I believe, something like this. Something like this. It stops above this candle, like this, and would have had our stops around here. Yeah, it would have been a 1:1.2. Yeah, which is still good, right? So there's that pre-London volume by 7 a.m. GMT to drive down, right? I've noticed recently that the 8 a.m. does not really give that push a lot. So it's the 9 a.m. But, that's what we can still just sample size and see how we can also work on that going forward, right? So this is a trade I would have taken, the sales in the overall trend, right? Again, a second sell would have been taken. You know how we have the V pattern, push down, minor retracement, continuation, push down, right? And that's what just happened now, or that's what happened here. So there was the initial drop. Now, the 12 noon candle closed resistance below the same level. Look, so you can see that this level is very strong. This level is very strong, right? We can even go as far back and test this out. So you can see that there was something happening here, right? Price respected the same level here. Price respected the same level here. Price respected the same level here. So there's really something happening here, right? Now, this same candle, this 5 a.m. candle, respected the same level before this candle, before the 6 a.m. candle dropped down to close below, giving us that bearish confirmation, right? So we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps telling us that this level is strong. Now look at what happened again. This other candle, the 10 a.m. candle, rejected this level. So this level is pretty strong. Now look at what this next candle did, the 12 a.m. candle, or the 12 noon, sorry. It closed bearish, making that W pattern, right? So this was also another bearish signal to push down. So we would have had, using the confirmations that we have had now, or we have seen, I've shown you, we would have had a sell just as soon as this candle wicked up and start flipping bearish. So a sell just right above, put your stop right above here, 14, 15 pips. So first few this week, 31 pips, and then overall get to this point, 60 pips. And that was what happened here, right? So these were the two sells for me today in line with the overall trend. So we started from how the 2 a.m. candle closed and how the the 6 a.m. candle gave us the confirmation for this drive down. So going forward into tomorrow, this is the kind of thing I will be looking at to see how I can improve on my entries. Thank you.